Hello, welcome to episode 3 of my drop shipping journey. Right, this is not quite week 3, it's just week 3 and a bit because I haven't done a great deal on the drop shipping side of things because my other business has been really busy. So this is going to be a quick update video. I've got a list of things here I want to go through because I keep making this video and forgetting to do things and having to keep redoing it. Okay, so number 1, update. I've had 5 sales so far in the last 3 and a bit weeks. I've got 14 listings now, and I've had my first stock out item. And I'll explain what I did to get around that shortly. So last week I said a couple of things that I said I was going to investigate, which I haven't had a chance to do. One of them is looking at a way of being able to do some competitor research, but on a very cheap basis. What I planned on doing was looking at Shopee Spy and comparing it to my web resource that I've got. Now, I just haven't had a chance. I found that Shopee Spy was I know it's only £7, but I'm being really tight. I really want to be frugal on this. I really don't want to be spending money before I make money. I didn't want to pay for it, so I haven't compared it. So I don't know what you'll get as a difference between Shopee Spy and my method. So I'm just going to put it out there, give you the web address, and let you guys make a decision of whether or not it's any use. Now, the website that I've been using is called goofbid.com. That's GOOFBID.com. Now, on that website, it enables you to enter a eBay user's ID, and it will tell you what they've sold over the last 30 days. Great. You can download that to a CSV file and then upload it into Excel, and you can sort and refine it and see what their top selling items is and how much they've made from selling that. Well, I'm saying made, how much they've sold it for in total. I mean, obviously then when you look back and see what they've purchased it for, then you can work out a rough profit margin from that. Does this give you as much detail as Shopee Spy and TerraPeak? I don't think so. But you know what? For a starter tool and to get used to seeing data, I think it's pretty good. I'll put a link below. Second thing I said was, don't try to do this on a mobile phone. Which I was struggling as there's, having to go between different browsers and press pictures and get Google to search them. About an hour and a half after I posted that video, Mark from DS Genie posted a video about a woman who's been making loads of money doing it from a mobile phone. So it can be done on a mobile phone. I'm not saying it can't be, I'm just saying it's a little bit more tricky. I did notice that she was using DS Genie though, so a lot of her information was centralized in one place, whereas mine is all over the place. You have to go here, go there. So it is possible if you're paying the money. If you want to do it cheap, it's harder, that's for sure. Okay, so I had my first out of stock, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do with this? Now, I think the general rule of thumb is what I've noticed from people pasting comments on Facebook and elsewhere is that as soon as they get an out of stock, they cancel the order. And I didn't want to cancel the order because that kind of goes bad against you on eBay. My background originally was, I used to be a warehouse and logistics manager, so I was used to handling stock and stock difficulties and stock flow. So what I did is I sat down for about 10 minutes and just thought about the problem and realized that my supplier is likely to be getting another delivery. That's what they sell goods, or are they not? I don't know. So I phoned them up, and it was as simple as that. I just phoned them up and I asked them. Now, to make it easier, a little tip that I'm going to give you is, if you're keeping a spreadsheet of all your listings and sales, and you put the URL in there where it's come from, put in the EAN code. Because if you need to phone up your source and you quote the EAN code, it's easier for them to find the item. Okay, so bit of a tip. Now, I gave them the EAN code and they turned around to me and said, oh, we're due to have a delivery on Thursday the 2nd of November. Now, that was last Thursday, just gone. So my customer placed the order on the 30th of October, late at night, and that meant that I had 31st of October, the 1st of October, 2nd of October to get the stock through. Now, because I knew that my supplier was getting stock, I knew that I was going to be able to fulfill that order. It just means I've gone out of my 2 to 3 day shipping time or dispatch time on eBay. So I took the risk. I took the commercial decision to not cancel the order, and I let it run. Sure enough, the item became available back on the website. I placed the order. The order was fulfilled and dispatched on Friday, which was outside of that. Although I didn't get a notification from the supplier to say that it had been shipped and that I had a tracking number. So this morning I had an email from my buyer asking, why has my product not been dispatched? It's been over 2 weeks. Okay, so it's a bit of a tricky one. You can either try and placate your customer, or you can cancel your order and put some damage to your eBay. Now, whether or not my customer is going to start getting funny and checking paperwork and get a returns, maybe. So what I done is I emailed my customer back this morning, and I just basically put in an email saying, I will investigate this immediately when I get into the office. Sorry for any inconvenience. Yours sincerely, Barry Godden, Head of Operations. Okay, and then about an hour and a half, I followed it up with a second email and explained that it had been shipped, and obviously then I updated eBay to say that it had been dispatched with a tracking number. I then went into a detailed response as to why the order had not been dispatched on time. And although my customer said it had been over 2 weeks, it hadn't. It's a week tomorrow that I received the order. So it's just delayed by a day. But when you're dealing with customers, and I obviously I deal with a lot of customers in my taxi business, the customer is always right. Even if they're wrong, don't correct them. You don't need to correct them, or shouldn't correct them, or make them feel that they've made a bad comment. So I didn't address the fact that the customer had said it had been, it's been over 2 weeks, when it hadn't. I didn't go back and say, well, no, it's not. It's only been a week. Because that's the first thing, is it puts your customer in an aggravated mood already. So first thing I did, I went on there and said, I've been in this morning. Here's firstly, please be rest assured your order was dispatched on Friday. So the first thing the customer sees is that order's been dispatched. Great, brilliant, it's on its way. Next, I went into an explanation as to why it hadn't actually been dispatched. So what I said is that the order had come through, and I put in the times that the order was received, the date. I then said it went through to the warehouse for picking. I didn't say our warehouse or my warehouse, I said the warehouse. Wording and perception will go an awful long way in a lot of businesses, trust me. So I said that it had been sent to the warehouse, and that they picked it and put it into the packing area. And at this point, where we undergo another quality check, your item was found to be not acceptable condition. Followed up with, and it was the only one in stock. I then went on to explain that the supervisor in charge of that process then made a proactive decision to look at the stock flow of that item and saw that we were due more items in the next day. Now, obviously, what time of day that arrives, it could be 8 o'clock in the morning, it could have been 3:30. I then went on to say that the person in charge of that process then changed the date on the picking requirement to the following day. And therefore, it got picked up and then picked and dispatched on the Friday. Okay, I know it's lying, I know it's not right, but hopefully what's going to happen. I mean, I don't actually know what's going to happen. This customer might kick off, send it back, look at the paperwork, and go, I paid double this, blah, 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 and give me a bad review. Well, I'd rather have a bad review that I can manage and say, this happened, this happened, this happened, instead of going, cancel the order, I can't do it. Because automatically you're creating a negative part of your business. To eBay, you're saying, I haven't got the stock, and they automatically do that. So why hang yourself when the problem might not actually be a problem by a bit of creative thinking? It might not work, I don't know yet. Let's try it. But I'll tell you, I'll do an update video when I know that everything's gone okay. So, there's the challenges I've had this week. It's just time at the moment with my other business not being able to put an awful lot into it. But I think so far that considering I've got only 14, 15 listings to make 5 sales, I think it's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. And I've also started implementing the cashback process as well now. So I started on one side, taking the order, or listing, taking the order, placing the order, delivering the order. Now I've introduced the next step of cashback. I've not overcomplicated doing too many things. You get into a flow and you refine your process. And as you do something, it becomes more repetitive and a lot more understandable and a lot quicker to get through. So there we go. One thing I was saying, and I know that I'm seeing a lot of comments on Facebook, not directed at me, but just general comments about people sort of saying, oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? And I think that the takeaway thing I've got from this video for hopefully you guys is to realise that no matter what business you start, there is always going to be challenges. Some of them are easier to handle, others are disastrous. And now I'm running my dropshipping business and I have my taxi business. I'm beginning to be able to compare the challenges. And if having an out of stock item that can be managed efficiently and easily is one of the biggest challenges that I've got with this so far, then it's non-comparable to the other challenges that I've got in my other business. Cars breaking down, maintenance, insurance, drivers, customers, phones going, not having enough at the right time. The perception and the damage to your business can be quite large. So think about that. If you're worried about getting starting, or you're worried about how it's going to move forward, or what you're going to do when you face a challenge, don't trip yourself up and fall over before you've hit your first challenge. You've just got to go do it. Go do it. Find the challenge. Find a solution that works for you, because my solution might not work for you. It might work for someone else, but I'm just giving you ideas, and I want you to see what happens as I go along. So don't be scared to start. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but nobody's going to die. Okay, that's the one thing. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye now and look forward to doing the next video, because I've got people in the office and they're looking at me weird. All right, bye now.